Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about my hopes and expectations for Call of Duty Cold War Zombies and what I hope they improve from the past Call of Duty games. And there's a lot I'll be going over in this video, so please sit back and enjoy. I'll be talking about basic things like gameplay, zombies, boss zombies, weapons, maps, gobblegums, all those kinds of things. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys. Alright, so for this first part of the video, we're going to be talking about the zombies. So we're not talking about the zombie type, like bosses or special types, we're just talking about plain old zombies. And there is a lot I do want to talk about them. So I'm going to start it off with the most basic things, and that is high rounds, damage, you know, like when they become almost invincible by round 50. That is something I always disliked with the Call of Duty games, is when if you get to a really high round and then the zombies become literally invincible to your weapons, your really good guns that do nothing, you have to rely on wonder weapons by then. And it's really annoying. The numbers only keep increasing as time goes on, and it's just difficult lasting longer because you can't kill them, so you can't keep a good train going, because then they're going to close up all the gaps, so be trapped in a loop and then you're dead. When it comes to the multiplayer zombies, it's pretty fun too. I do like it, but there is a few things I do have to say. Is first, if you're playing with like 3 or more people, the amount of zombies that there are in like round 20 for example, is way too many. There's way too many zombies, especially when teammates leave. That number of zombies still stays really high. The more players, the more zombies, and I just don't like it like that. Probably because you're gonna get those teammates who are just really bad or leave the game, and then you're gonna have to deal with like you'll be playing with 2 people when you should be having 4. It's just it's not really that good when it's like that, and I just do not like it. And the last thing I want to talk about in zombies really is just training them, because in order to get to a high round you gotta train the zombies, you gotta be able to handle them. And in Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, it's not that easy actually, because zombies are smarter in these games. They're programmed better, they're programmed more tough, they become more difficult to deal with. And that is a bit of an issue, because I remember watching videos back in the day in Black Ops 1, World at War. You could do the tightest clutch I've ever seen, and it'd be amazing to watch. Compared to now, you can't do them anymore. You'll get trapped, you die. That's just it. You can't squeeze your way through. There's nothing you can do about it, which is a shame. And I hope in BO3 Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War, I hope they fix that problem and they change it where we can, well, train zombies properly, where we don't have to worry about getting sandwiched and then getting pissed because the game sucks. Hope that doesn't have to happen. I hope I don't have to complain about that anymore once Cold War comes out. I hope when I get on Cold War I have a great time with training zombies for high round attempts, because yeah, I just get pissed. Anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is boss zombies / special zombies. Alright, so now we are talking about boss zombies and special type zombies, and one thing I hope to God Cold War doesn't do is do what they did with Black Ops 3 and their boss zombies, because it was overwhelming. Like, it was so insane how many boss zombies there were in BO4. I hope that does not happen with Cold War, because then the game just becomes way more difficult than it needs to be, and it just takes the enjoyment out of it when you realize you're playing round 25 and you got I don't know the name of all the bosses, but I know one of the maps is like over 6 and it's pretty retarded. Every round you get multiple boss zombies spawning in, takes the fun out of the game. It just kinda it hurts it, like hurts the feeling, the fun, you know, the good stuff. And there's also the special zombies, which BO3 did pretty good with this. I don't think they overwhelmed it. I don't think they underwhelmed it either. I think they did a pretty balanced job when it comes to special zombies, like hellhounds, when it comes to those parasites, meatballs, margwas, you know, those types of zombies. A good example of a map with good amount of boss zombies and good amount of special zombies, I'd say Shadows of Evil is pretty good. It's only got one boss type zombie, aka the Margwas, and 3, I think, special zombies, aka those floating weirdos, parasites, and the meatballs. I don't think there's more, but I don't know, I haven't played that map in a while. But in my opinion, I found that the most enjoyable with the boss and specials because it wasn't overwhelming or underwhelming. An example of a map that's underwhelming, I'd probably say would be Kino, because it has no bosses, only 2 special zombies, Hellhounds and Nova Crawlers. But in my opinion, it's better like that. But maybe in the new game they could add something new, like maybe a leader zombie, like a boss who does this crap or something, I don't know. But they could add something special or unique if they remaster Kino or any of the old maps. I do know they are remastering Nocturne Totem, which does lead me to my next thing, and we're going to be talking about the maps. Now when it comes to zombies, I love the maps. A lot of the maps are amazing, they're fantastic, they're just perfect in so many ways. There's so many maps in Call of Duty which are perfection, like Origins, Mob of the Dead, Kino, even Shinonuma, if you want to say that. I don't really think Shinonuma is the best, but it is still pretty good. And then there are a lot of bad zombies maps which people dislike for many reasons, like Die Rise, for example, which is a zombies map which goes up and down instead of left to right, and a lot of people did not like that because a lot of people died from fall damage, which is pretty stupid. I do like the idea, but it's just not working well in the actual game because people die too often from stupid things and it pisses people off and they just dislike it. Another map people hate is Shangri-La. There's a lot of things about Shangri-La people dislike, like for example the traps, maybe it could be the zombies. I don't really know too much about Shangri-La, so I can't really talk much about that, but I do know it's not a favorite. Now for Call of Duty Cold War Zombies, I hope they make new maps, not remasters like Black Ops 4. Fresh, new maps. I know they are remastering Nocturne Totem, but after that I better see new stuff, because I don't like seeing repeats over and over. Sure, they may add something new to the map, but that doesn't mean that it's a completely whole different map. Like for example, Tag der Toten, the final map in Black Ops 4, had so much high hopes, but it was just Call of the Dead with a boat on the side. That was it. Or the new Nuketown in BO4. It was just Nuketown, but with an underground bunker, and that was it. They need new things. Like for example, a good example of a map from BO3. It's not a remaster, and everyone loves is Der Reisendrachen, one of the best zombies maps. Why? Because it's new. It has so much elements to it that people love. For example, the jumping pads, people love those. The Ragnaroks, amazing weapons. The bows, people love those. Notice that a lot of weapons are being mentioned here because people love the weapons in the games. If you have good maps with good training spots, good weapons, then you will have a favorited map by the zombies fan base. If you would have a bad map, for example, Die Rise with only one gun or one new weapon, the Liquefier, which can cause you to die if you use it incorrectly, it just made it not as good because sure, the Liquefier itself was a pretty good gun, but it can get you killed because it makes the floor slippery, and since Die Rise is all about falling, you're gonna end up falling off the map and killing yourself, and people didn't like it. And my stupid headset. Alright. Other things for maps, I'd say. Traps are another thing. They gotta have a decent amount of traps. Traps you can use for high rounds and training, so you don't have to rely on wonder weapons. If you have a good map, for example, Shinonuma does have a really good trap, which always insta-kills the zombies, and is very interesting to watch. It's the Klinger, or something. It's the one that spins around with spikes on it. It slaps the zombies in that. It's one of my favorite traps because it's, unique. No other zombies map has that specific trap, and it's really effective. You can even, I think you can crawl under it to get past things, but I don't know. I think I died once trying that. I don't remember. That was like a stream a while ago. You can check that out if you want to. But that's all I have to say about the maps. Now, one thing I mentioned earlier about the maps is good weapons, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Because in order to have fun with zombies, you got to have fun weapons, good weapons, effective weapons. and one occasional bad one, because let's be real, zombies would not be fun if you had that everything was a perfectionate gun. There's got to be that one crap gun, like for example the Springfield. Anyway, let's save that for the weapons. Now, in order to survive the zombie apocalypse and the zombie horde and the waves till like round 40, you need to have weapons to use. Of course, if you don't have weapons, well, you just run around. Weapons are very important in this game and the other zombies games, and they need to be effective. They need to be good. They need to be really, really good. An example of a really good weapon is the Ray Gun Mark II. We'll use that as an example for a good one. It's a wonder weapon and an effective weapon which kills the zombies pretty damn easy. Even on high rounds it does a lot of damage. Past round 50 could probably still destroy them. It's a good weapon that does not have many negatives to it and many positives, and when you're making a gun you want more positives than negatives. An example of a gun that has more negatives than positives will be the Springfield from World at War. One of the worst zombies weapons I think was ever released. That thing was a 2-shot to the head on round 1. Like, I don't think I know any gun that's worse than that. Unless you're saying something like the War Machine or the China Lake, but they could still kill the zombies in one shot in one round. So if you're let's look at some more, like, what makes a weapon like really good. Yeah, high damage, great. Global ammo capacity, it's got to have lots of ammo, it's got to have a good fire rate, it's got to have a good accuracy, it's got to be memorable, it's got to have good customizations. That makes a gun good in a Call of Duty game. It's got to be satisfying to use. It can't just be some bland gun, you know. Yeah, it's effective, but it just doesn't feel fun to use. An example of a good weapon that feels fun to use is the staffs and origins. It takes a long time to get those things upgraded, and once you get them upgraded, it's so satisfying killing the hordes of zombies using your staffs, because they're effective till like round 40, which is a high round. It could carry you pretty high, depending on the staff you're using, but it's still fun using them. Upgrading is not easy. Getting things done just feels so great, especially when the reward pays off. Bad weapons usually have, well, the opposite of the good ones. Bad fire rate, bad ammo capacity, low damage, easy to obtain. Like for example the Pharaoh and BO3. They did buff this, but when BO3 zombies first came out, the Pharaoh was considered the worst weapon. It was horrendous. It was just not good. Didn't have good ammo, really low damage, and the fire rate was a burst, so couldn't really do much anyway. After the buff, it became a bit better than some of the other weapons in BO3, like the rocket launcher, the XM53 I think, and some of the snipers like the SVG. Wonder weapons also are very important in zombies, like Ray Gun Mark II and the Origin Staffs, and the Sliquifire as I mentioned earlier in Die Rise. You gotta have your weapons fit with the maps too. Sure, the Sliquifire fitted with Die Rise, but it also made the map slightly more difficult than it needed to be, which hurt the overall map and made it more flawed than it needed to be. If they had brought the Sliquifire back in like a later map, you know, it would have been pretty cool. It would have been pretty cool if maybe brought it back in Kino as like a little fun experiment. That would have been pretty damn nice. They never did that, but remember, they could do something like that in Cold War. They are bringing the jet gun back, which was considered the worst wonder weapon ever made in zombies. It was so bad it killed 5 zombies before it break, because this was a buildable wonder weapon, and yet it didn't last long. Killed the zombies, but then you have to, once it broke, you have to go around the map, grab the pieces, make it again. It just wasn't worth its use and difficulty to obtain, especially in a map like Transit, which is considered one of the worst maps. I hope to God in Call of Duty Cold War they got good maps. They have always got to have that one gun that sucks dog. They always got to have that unique crap gun. They got to have a bunch of good ones, good wonder weapons, fun weapons to use, unique styles, and of course, let's hope in the new COD game they don't have overpowered gobblegums that carry you to like round 50, which is what we're going to talk about next, the gobblegums. In the new Call of Duty game, Cold War Zombies, I hope to God they do not bring gobblegums back or the liquid gobblegums. Why? Because they're broken. They're too good. They make the game too easy. Like one gobblegum, like let's say power vacuum, that gobblegum can carry you 4 rounds easily. Because every zombie you kill, they're gonna drop some broken power up, which will just, like a nuke, a Gatling gun, or the death machine. Insta kills. It's too broken. Near death experience, another broken gobblegum. That thing just way too good. On solo, it insta revives you. In multiplayer, you can revive your teammates without actually having to touch them. It's just broken. And I hope they don't bring them back. Maybe they could add like special effects. Like for example, if you complete a challenge in the map, you get a prize. Like for example, maybe for 3 rounds you get like a power vacuum effect. You know what? I wouldn't mind that. What I do mind is if they remove gobblegums and liquid gobblegums from Call of Duty Cold War. Like I don't want them to have it. I hope they don't have it, and I'm just praying that if they do have it, they nerf it. Make them not as good. Maybe they could make it where a perk like Perkaholic, maybe it could be like gives you 2 random perks. That kind of be like on the house really, but maybe they could just remove Perkaholic. Maybe remove all of the gobblegums, you know, because that'd be better. And it does, the gobblegums take away one very important thing in Call of Duty Zombies, and that is difficulty. I did complain earlier about how getting the high rounds of weapons are useless. It just doesn't feel right playing on a high round in BO3 and BO4. But the gobblegums make it a little bit too easy, even past round 50. Gobblegums like round robin, power vacuum, near death, way too effective for high rounds. Sure, they have time limits, but you can keep getting more and more and more of them, so you can keep going on and on and on forever. If you had 100 round robins and you kept getting it out of pure luck, you can get past round 50 easy. And it also takes away another thing other than difficulty. It takes away the overall experience, and the thing that is my favorite thing about zombies, fear and gameplay. Getting spooked is amazing, and only Call of Duty World at War and BO1 have that. BO2 doesn't have it, BO3 and BO4 doesn't have it either. Only BO1 and World at War had these experiences. What are these things? Well, that's what I'm about to talk about next. Overall experience and how scary it is. The reason why Call of Duty World at War and Call of Duty Black Ops 1 stand out to me so much is because they're so memorable. They're so scary. They make me piss my pants. They're terrifying. Playing on Call of Duty World at War, you'd be there at round 7 and you'd be like, oh crap, where are they coming from? Oh my god, they're over there. You know, you'd be terrified. You don't know what's gonna happen. Because of the experience, the atmospheres of the maps are terrifying. They don't give you broken gobblegums to make you, so you feel unsafe, because in the past perks weren't that available, gobblegums didn't exist, Pack-a-Punch came out in the 4th map of World at War, and they didn't have broken weapons. The best weapon you would get in World at War was probably the PPSH, MG42, and the Wunderwaffe. That was basically it. The ray gun wasn't even good. The flamethrower, I guess, was good, but we're not talking about the weapons. We're talking about atmosphere, scary stuff, you know, that. I hope Cold War Zombies brings back the scary atmosphere that the old games have. Why? Because it makes them memorable. If you get scared, you'll remember it. Let's take an example of a bad Call of Duty game that tried to get the scary feeling, which was Call of Duty World War II, and we all know that, how they throw in jump scares every time you turned a corner, and sure, the first time it'd probably scare you, but after the 10,000th time it just gets tedious and annoying. I hope in Cold War Zombies it does not get tedious. I hope it stays frightening. It's scary whenever I load into a map alone and I don't have anyone to help or defend me, and I just gotta worry about myself. That is what I call memorable and fun. Playing with your friends, hearing them scream when they get scared, and they ask you for help, they need you to help them. It's great. I hope Cold War Zombies has that. And now I'm on to talk about the final thing in this video, and that is Teammates, my least favorite thing. I swear to God, they are so horrendous. I do not like teammates most of the time. If I'm playing with people I know they're good, but when I'm playing with online people, it's a different story, and I'm about to tell you why. Now, in this next part, we're going to be talking about teammates, which is a problem I seem to deal with a lot in Call of Duty, and I usually don't like playing solo because I usually get scared, which is something I don't like to admit. But when I play with actual teammates, I'm going to incur 4 types of teammates I seem to incur all the time. The first one being actual good players, which is 0.5% of the time. It usually takes 100 matches before you get at least one good teammate. You get the second type of teammate, the internet hoggers. These are the type of people who host the lobbies and they steal everyone else's internet. So you'd be there with 1 ping, everyone has 1 ping, but the host here with 4 ping, because he's hogging everyone else's ping, because his internet sucks dog crap. The third type of player are the really bad players, the trash teammates, the ones who go down 25 times a game. While you're over here with 1, because you have to die eventually, and they're over there with 25, and like between like 3 rounds. Like, it's insane how many players I encounter with the trash genetics, as I'll say, because I don't know why. I always carry everyone, and just I encounter many trash teammates, and especially in this gameplay. I would just want you to try to count how many times you've seen my teammates down within the span of till round 14 at the bottom there, because it's madness how many times these people have died and how many times I have to carry people. And the fourth and final one is my least favorite, even worse than the trash teammates, and these are teammates that don't even do anything. Idle teammates. I hate idle teammates. What are they gonna do? Nothing. They just stand there. They're useless. They stand there, they're down repeatedly. Why do they exist? Why don't they get kicked for inactivity? They should. I hate these types of teammates. Why? Because they're useless. It's like having an extra teammate slot that's just being used. It's like using a crap gobblegum, like I don't know, there's a lot of crap gobblegums, but it doesn't, I don't know any at the moment. But there are a lot of crap teammates and idle teammates. These are the 2 most common ones I encounter, and I don't know why. I wish I encountered more good teammates, less crap ones and less idle ones, because then that'd make the game more fun. Of course, I could play solo and then I'd be the 100% good, but it's fun playing with new people, different people, friends, you know. I love doing that, but it does suck when you got someone hogging the internet, idle people, or people who suck, and you gotta carry. I don't like those types of teammates. I hope to God in Cold War Zombies they have some sort of matchmaking system where it looks at your overall average downs, your high rounds, and then it puts you with players who have that kind of average. For example, if your average high round for like a map like Kino was 16 or 20, then you get matched with players whose high rounds would be around that same area. That adds a type of balance with who you play with, so you don't have to worry about getting trash or idle. But you still do have the chance of meeting stupid, retarded ping hoggers, which I can't, there's nothing to fix ping hoggers really. It's just put them in the right stupid servers, stop throwing them in my servers. I don't want to play with someone who's in like Australia, halfway across the world from me, no thanks. But that's about it when it comes to the teammates, and that's all I have to say about the types of things I'm expecting and I hope for in Call of War. Just a lot of improvements from the last 2 games, BO4 and BO3. And now I'm just going to give my final word before I end the video. As my final word for this video, I have high expectations for Call of Duty Cold War because Modern Warfare came out this year or last year, I don't know, but it was a really good game. It didn't have a zombies mode, so I hope this zombies is better than BO3, better than BO4, because, well, BO3 was okay, it was more mediocre, but it still felt like a good zombies experience. Black Ops 4 did not feel like a good zombies experience. I really did not like BO4 at all. And I hope they do not do that crap again with whatever they did with BO4, because that was just a hot mess. Now, I have a lot of expectations for Cold War zombies because they've promised so much, and I hope they can deliver on all these promises. New weapons, I hope to God that happens. Better maps, I hope to God that happens. Better teammates, I especially hope to God that happens. So, that's all I really have to say for Call of Duty Cold War Zombies and what I hope gets added to the new game. And I hope it's just as good as Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies experiences, which were memorable, fun, addictive, scary, and enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll make more content like this, and I'll try making it shorter too, just for convenience. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.